You're stalling.
Who's stalling? We don't talk.
I'm not stalling, man. I'm trying to get my invite.
This is bike night.
And that is what you usually do. That's why I said you're stalling. This Big Baby Cleveland Open MC. You know what? Stop it.
Go ahead.
Stop it.
It's your boy Shaka, aka the Jaguar.
And you cut me off.
And
So I didn't get to finish telling them that it was Big Baby from the
go ahead.
Cleveland Opens.
Oh shit, you feeling frisky today? I see. You're a sheer shucker.
It is not a sheer sucker.
We like to welcome our guest today, man. I'm Shaka, aka the Jaguar. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we like to welcome today's guest again, our favorite girl from Lady Trendsetters, Red Rabbit. You on the show. Stop being thirsty
I'm
for
jealous.
attention.
I'm not thirsty for attention. I have all the attention I want.
You just want more.
No,
Now,
not at all. I just get jealous. I don't like sharing.
see, I know. You know what? You already on the show. She's a guest.
What just
I'm
happened?
just saying, I don't like
Right,
to
Big
know.
Baby's being Big Baby again. Spoiled brat.
That's my name.
Again, Red Rabbit. How you doing today?
She know I be on some bullshit. They fall for it, so I'm right with it.
I'm just trying to make sure everybody's cool.
How you doing today, Rabbit?
I'm doing good, Shaka. How's everybody else doing?
Hey, well, I'm cool. Big Baby, as you can see, is in rare form.
Well, everybody complained about.
Does everybody sound good in y'all headphones?
I sound wonderful. Everybody complained about, Titty Tuesday. I decided to do Fresh Face February. No weave, no makeup, no lashes. Just me.
I don't
And
know, but I
so
just feel
I'm
like
trying to combine the two and see how it work out.
But it's still
every day
January,
is
though.
Tuesday for you. I think you wake
Right,
up
every day is Tuesday for me because I wake up with him every day.
every
But
day.
it's not February yet, though. It's still January.
I started February early because
okay.
February 1st is my birthday.
So January,
So I kind of get
February.
cheated. I can't celebrate like all week or 2 weeks before. So I start like mid to late January.
You know what black
I'm
folks
just happy to know
do.
our
Yes.
brother- our
Y'all-
brother-
y'all
Everybody
birthday
else can get a 3-week party. Why can't I?
Birthday
My
weeks,
ice on the
Right.
month. What's
Right.
wrong
So
with
this is
y'all?
my birthday month.
What's wrong with
So I
y'all?
go from the 15th to the 15th.
My
I
birthday
celebrate
was
it.
this month. You know what I celebrated? Nothing. I went to work.
Well, I'm actually off on my birthday this year, but normally I do go to work. I'm not gonna miss the bag for it. I can kick it afterwards.
Yeah, that.
I can hang out afterwards. But I happen to be off on my birthday this year. So
Okay. Well, I'm still doing my invites. Let's get on to. Hey, Goldie, man. Highs and lows, man. How was your week, brother?
Oh wait, nobody
Tweets.
cares. My birthday is Saturday.
We didn't even know until just now.
Right.
But nobody said, well, when is it? I'm being needy right now, aren't I?
Right.
There's a lot of estrogen in the
I'm
studio
being extra.
right now.
Right.
Maybe that's what it is.
Is it early signs of menopause?
Oh my God.
Big Baby feels as though she strategically
Is
has
that
an
what it
ally
is?
in studio.
Is
That
neediness
totally
a symptom?
relates to her being a woman on the MC scene.
I do.
And now it's the playing field has been even.
It's leveled right now.
Where you at, Magic?
Actually,
I feel
yeah.
like Magic is
We got
ducked
double
down
hand right
low.
now.
Coming.
Rabbit, let's
To the
get
rescue.
Goldie. How was your week, man?
It was cool, man. I want to hear about your week because I'm really excited to tell people what you don't want me to tell them.
Rabbit, how was your week? How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm gonna tell them anyway.
Welcome to the show,
Tell
Real
them
Rabbit.
anyway.
How was your week, mama?
It's going good so far.
It was. Hey, we didn't have a show last week, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to apologize. We didn't have a show last week, but sometimes it happens like that.
I
You know
didn't
what I'm
feel
saying?
very well.
We'll get more. Right. We stopped the show
honestly
because she
didn't feel
didn't
very
feel well.
No, I didn't feel very well. He had some shit going on. Y'all
Right.
two never even fucking responded. So
No, we had it. No, we.
that,
I ain't gonna
no,
lie.
you
No
didn't.
titties, no show.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Don't listen to that.
So ultimately, it just boils down to no titties, no show.
We
Yeah,
was trying to decide whether Rabbit would have been a good substitute for the show.
she would have been a great substitute for this show.
Should have been a nice substitute.
Right. She
would've
had
been
the girls out.
About
would've
great. It might have been a beautiful substitute.
Because they are all perfectly gorgeous.
I mean, it's too cold for a bustier.
Some
Yes,
of
they
them
are.
long, some of them cockeyed, some of them medium. You got some big
God.
smack.
The fuck?
Ain't nothing worse than cockeyed nipples.
Titties.
Who's your nipples looking at?
Somebody tell me what a cockeyed titty is.
A cockeyed nipples? When your nipples is like, you know what I'm saying, one nipple up here and the other nipple is like down or
They
upward.
pointed
It's
in
not
different
right.
directions.
You don't know what cockeyed nipples are?
Thank you, God. I
I know
don't.
you cannot believe
No,
that
no, it
all
just mean
breasts
they-
are created equal.
Right.
No, I don't. That's why I said they
There's
are
some
all
of them square
perfectly
shaped, believe it or
beautiful.
not.
But
Can y'all feel y'all nipples when they
cockeyed
cock
is that
out?
strange kind of cute. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing cute about cockeyed nipples.
No, wrong. Ain't no, you got nipples.
Look like a bad plastic surgery job going
It's just
on.
bad when they funny shape and they cock out. It's not like they won't get sucked though.
Oh my God. Because ultimately,
Nigga pick them little pancakes up and put some syrup on them in the milk. Yeah. We don't care.
Hey, man.
We would prefer something more like a porn star, but we'll take those regular cheek titties.
Hey, man. Red Rabbit. So how was
Oh, my God.
Hey, Big Baby, how was your week?
my week was, it was all right.
It was
It was all
alright.
right. You know what I mean? It was a week. Yeah, I worked.
Highs and lows? You had to work. That was your low.
No, I mean, I actually love my job. I do. I
That's
love my
good.
job. I love what I do, so I don't mind going to work.
That-
Decorated your
that's
new
good.
office yet?
No,
You got your own office?
I have.
It's
an
not
office.
girly in there yet? Or?
Oh, yeah,
No.
office.
No, it's professional. That's
Do you
what
have a
it is.
1 or 2 chair office?
I have
You're
a
supposed
one
to have
chair
a whole
office.
Evil
Yeah,
Knievel
sure,
setup.
I have a one chair office.
But you have an office. That's all that matters.
Well, I mean, I don't
It's
spend
just
much
the
time in it.
headphone cord.
I mean, you got one,
Hey,
though.
As long as you hear everybody's voice coming
That's
through.
not the important part. The
Shit.
important part is that I'm in a position to help.
You getting that bread.
It's not about the money.
There's something about me that says that it was certain classes you took strategically to
Then my shit
place
just go
yourself in
off.
a position to make more money.
Well, I mean, of course you always Of course you always want to be successful in whatever you do,
Exactly.
Right.
especially your professional life.
Mm-hmm.
But you also want to be happy doing what you're doing, because if you put yourself in a position to earn more money and you're not happy earning the money, you're not going to perform properly. And especially if you in healthcare, not performing properly hurts people. It kills people. So you have to like what you do in order to do it. It can't be about the money. And that's just like being a biker.
when the
You
money
gotta
funny,
love what you
you
do.
can't
It
be a
can't just
nurse.
be about the pussy
know
and
they
the
gotta pay
parties.
y'all. They gotta pay nurses because y'all run all the drugs. The temptation is too
And
great.
you know
Call you
what?
on the air. What's your name? Where you
We
calling
really
from?
don't push a lot of drugs. What the hell just
Hello?
happened? Yeah, real loud, real quick.
Somebody, I turned it up so we can hear the caller. I'm not sure where they are though. Did they hang up? Hello,
I
calling
guess.
on the air.
What they
Caller.
call it private?
Hello,
This was calling private.
calling on the air. What's
Star
your name?
69, I'm
Where you
back.
calling
No, but honestly, I
Hung
took
up.
a
Is this one of
position
your
like that
stalkers?
so I could go back to school. And
What
be
are
a
stalkers, Big Baby?
from? Calling on the air. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, I hope not. I'm so
What's
tired of
what's
that.
going on, man? It's Caveman from the Road Rangers.
Hey, Kay, man.
Yep.
What's going on, Big Baby? Shaka, Red Robin. What's going on?
What
Everybody.
up, young
Hey, this question's
KV?
for Big Homie Goldie, man.
What's up?
What titties have you seen in your life that is outside?
Wait, if you
bro.
just stop
I
right
done seen
there,
a lot
though.
of titties, but I ain't never seen no shit like this you talking about, bro.
You ain't never seen
got
cross-eyed
So I
nipples.
know to stay away from that area, bro.
You ain't never seen cross-eyed nipples that's pointing in different
Hey.
directions.
Hey, look,
Hey, I ain't
man.
never seen that in my life, bro.
Now
I just learned this
you're
tonight.
gonna be looking at them. You're gonna be like, "Is your shit symmetric?" See, I got
Hey,
a little
Kay, man, you
OCD.
heard
I
I
know we
said
gotta
thank
get
you,
that.
guy. Like, I don't know what the fuck
What?
y'all niggas done seen, but
What?
thank God I ain't got that shit.
Hey, I look at my
Thank
wife.
you.
I said, "Have you ever seen no titties like that in the locker room?" She say, "Hell no."
Hey, listen, man.
yeah, we
hey,
ain't
K,
here.
man. Hey, man. Hey. I hear
What's
you got
up?
a birthday party coming up,
I
man.
think most women.
Oh
got
yeah.
titties
I do.
be a certain type of
Ain't it the
insecurity.
25th?
No, it's the 27th. My birthday is February 20th, but I'm doing my party February 22nd at Kirk's Getaway.
22nd.
Hey, I'd like for all the MCs to come out and celebrate with me. Colors are optional, but the Road Rangers will have our colors on. You know what I'm saying? So come on and hang out with your boy, man. I'm turning 40, man.
Oh, look at him growing up to be a big boy.
One thing you count on is going to be a bunch of light-skinned people there.
remember- 40.
Hey, your Harley gonna freeze or you stop playing.
You know what? You know what? You know what?
Hey, mind your business, man.
Right.
Hey,
Let's talk about Harley for a minute.
Hey,
No,
yeah,
it's
let's
not.
talk about Harleys. Because there's a guy to you named Shaka the Jaguar sitting beside you. I remember 3 years ago, he gave me a whole lecture why he'll never buy a Harley. And the big homie go buy a Harley.
That's why you don't want us to say
Because
nothing.
you don't want everybody to call in with them shocking stories about how you'll never get on a fucking Harley. Hey, listen, I said it
That was
too.
in Jeopardy because things niggas say they don't got a Harley.
We all said it. We all said it.
Y'all did.
I'm gonna let y'all get all that
We
out
all
y'all
said it.
system. I'm gonna let y'all get all that out
And
your
we
system.
all ride Harley.
We all out y'all system.
And we
Hey,
all
big homie,
ride
hey, big
Harley.
homie, I love you. I'm proud of you. Hey, bro. Hey, that's good shit. And the bike fit you everything. I just didn't know why.
Listen, man. Listen. Now, anybody know me?
No, you said never.
No,
we all know that.
no. That's not what I was about to say. See, stop. See, anybody who know me know I follow orders.
Who ordered you to buy a Harley?
My president. My
Yo.
president.
He ordered you and he gave
God,
you a
God,
direct order to buy a
Harley.
Harley and don't come back without a hog?
Basically.
Hey, Butterfly.
It's not a
That's
order.
nigga. How you
All
gonna
right,
tell me
man.
how to
Hey,
spend?
peace, God.
Now,
I love
see,
y'all, man. I'll catch y'all later.
all right, have a good
All
one.
right, man.
Y'all be safe.
Y'all too, man.
Listen,
Yeah.
this is what I have a problem with right here.
What's that?
And this was a conversation I was just having with somebody else. First of all, how you gonna count my pockets? I'm
does
saying that to say in some organizations you can't ride with your patch, especially if you're not with your sponsor, your whatever the hell.
Okay.
Whatever. Some cases they don't want you to ride at all. They don't want you to be seen on your bike, whether you got your rags on or not. I'm not finished because I said
Hold
about
on,
to speak.
hold on. Caller,
Yeah,
Hello?
caller, what's up?
what club you represent? Who was this?
Hey, how you doing?
Who this? Who this?
Who is this?
You call
This is
it.
Big Andy.
Call you on there. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hello?
Now I'm out of the club. I'm from the same street on Buckeye.
Oh, okay, what's happening then? You gotta listen in your phone. You
Hold
can't
up.
listen on your device.
Hold on. I'm about to look right. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, how y'all doing?
We all
going
right. How
on?
you?
Ain't nothing. How y'all doing, man?
We all right.
Oh man, don't say that no more.
Now guess what?
What?
Cockeyed TDs is real.
I know they is. I seen them before. I ain't messing. I ain't even thinking they. I'm just like, okay, one day maybe you'll see them.
Hey,
And Shaka, you know you on the Harley and not right.
hey. Hey, Dre, man.
This is
Hey,
Dre.
first, man. Let me say, man, my condolences, man, about your big brother Nick, man.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. Nick.
Repass that. It's written inside there.
Yeah, let us get that information, man. Go ahead.
It's on our Facebook page. So.
It's on your page. All right, we'll definitely share that, man. All right,
All
man. Stay up,
Back to
brother.
the cockeyed titties though. Hold on, don't let them go.
right, man. Yeah, the cockeyed TDs is real.
Listen,
What did you think when you first saw them? I gotta hear
this is the biker show.
that.
Wow.
It is. Why?
Wow.
Wow.
I said,
Okay.
wow. Why is he looking at me like that?
Oh. Exactly. See, that's what I'm talking. I just wanted to hear that, bro. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, all right. Look. Okay. So anyway.
Who you looking at with nipples
Oh
like
my God!
that?
I'm
Hey, we
never
not talking about
Sorry,
cockeyed titties
I'ma
no
forget
more.
what the fuck I was talking
Hold
about.
that thought, baby. Carla, who you?
What's
I
up?
don't need what
Who
the
you
fuck I was
represent?
saying. Okay, I know.
Big baby. This little beat of Rolls Royce. The funny
Hey,
man.
hey.
What's going on, little B Rolls Royce?
Hey, I'm just trying to be a better rider, man. You already know be out here practicing and everything. I'm just trying to be a rider for real. You know what I mean?
That's what it do, man. That's what it's all
Just trying
about,
to better
baby.
myself.
Hey, so, go ahead, hold on 1 second, B. Big baby, go ahead, finish, please.
Oh, so anyway, my point is this. By me saying, how you gonna count my pockets? First of all, I paid for this motherfucker. I put the gas in it.
Oh,
I
you
got
talking
the
about that?
insurance on.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey.
yeah. So, how the fuck do you fix your lips, your testosterone-infused lips, to tell me I can't ride my shit unless I'm with you, nigga?
Oh yeah, that ain't.
That's
that
what I'm
ain't
saying.
cool.
I would get in trouble in some other places because that's just not how I was raised. Now, don't get me wrong. I give all the respect due to my kings and my men. All, you know what I'm saying? And I stay in my lane. But nigga, yeah,
He had to
he
bring
was
the
late. He had to
snacks.
bring the snacks. Thank you, Magic. Oh yeah, I like some of them.
I don't want one of those.
All right, my point is done. I got food. Just like a fat bitch.
Okay, now we
No,
move
but
on.
I don't think that's
Let's
really
go.
cool.
All right,
though.
now let's go.
As a man, I don't think it's cool if she bought her bike and you tell her she can't, unless you just trying to look out for her because she on an unsafe rider or something.
What did I
Like
just
she
miss?
do stuff that might jeopardize herself and you just
A
want to
whole
be
lot
with her
'cause
in the
you late.
beginning. No, she said it's fucked up. Like if a guy, if you with a dude and you buy your own bike as a woman, you buy you a bike and he say you can't ride unless you with him. But it's your bike, you paid your money for.
Well, hey, that's between y'all, 'cause that sounds like some relationship type shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But still, it's got to do with a bike. It's fucked up.
Hey, if you let motherfuckers, hey, that's between y'all.
Big baby think them her snacks first. She get first piece.
Right, she just picked all through the snack.
I'm just
Did
sitting
you
there
offer
watching,
Rabbit
like,
something?
if somebody, you know, you was little,
I was
man, let
bringing
me
it
get
to
some to
her
make
next.
All right,
sure
listen,
man.
man.
Get them to everybody.
Hey, Magic, you gonna share with her, Magic? Okay, Magic got in where he fit in. I don't blame you. All right.
The snacks going
Well,
on
Hey,
here.
listen here, man. Listen, let's get
Welcome
down
the
to it.
microphone,
Why you gonna put this
Magic in the
nasty in front of
building.
me?
Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah,
What's up, baby?
Here?
Right, let him get
You
settled.
ready
Let
yet?
Magic get settled. Magic's here.
Y'all my brothers. Like y'all know this is really my brothers because they be
Okay, man.
fucking with
See,
me.
we already told them about the conversation.
You know, the bread comes first. So.
Man.
Right, yeah, everybody getting off work. I still got on my work uniform.
Red Rapper said she would have held it down.
Shit, ain't no wrong
With
with
big-
that. She was sitting in my seat pretty good. Shoot.
All right, hey man, look here, man.
Let's go.
Hey
Oh
Magic,
my God, it's so good.
hey Magic, highs and lows, man. Let me get you in.
You know, pretty much my high's been weed and alcohol.
Did you say weed and alcohol?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I
this
wish I could.
But
fried.
I mean, my lows. You know, I've been
Sober.
listening. Nah, I ain't been none of that. You know, but I've been listening and whatnot, and you know, I don't want to break the mood and everything, but you know, first things first, I want to send my condolences out to my man Kobe Bryant. You know, I know everybody about done Kobe'd out on the internet, on Facebook, and all of that other shit, but you can't never say it too many times, man. You gotta respect your days, man, because you never know. You know, that man got up that morning. He ain't know that was gonna be his last morning. You know, and especially for his little girl, he ain't know. So, you know, don't get up thinking that everything is everything. Don't get up thinking that, you know, you got another day. You got to get what you got to do today together today. And, you know, make them amends if you out here beefing on some bullshit or you out putting some shit off tomorrow that you need to do today. Like getting some insurance, shit like that. You know, you need to get your shit together, man, because ain't none of us promised. You know, so my condolences. You know, and on that note, I want to say to all you motherfuckers that got something goofy to say about that man, you suck a fat baby dick.
Man, that's the dumbest shit.
that's
They
coming
already making
from Mr.
memes and
Magic.
shit.
You got a
Goofy
problem
ass
with
shit.
it,
It's too soon,
you'll see me
man. That's
eventually.
just
But
sensitive.
fuck all that.
It's not
'cause,
too soon. That would be a never.
Hey, check this out.
That's-
All you get is
death
people
is-
talking about, but he cheated on his wife. Hey, check this out. That man's wife kissed him before he left this morning. She kissed him before he left that morning. So whatever the fuck you talking about don't mean nothing.
Not only that, it's none of your fucking business. That was between him and her.
Everybody know I'm not really a sports fan, but
And
I really
kids
got
later,
a problem with the
clearly they
fact
worked something out.
that people just mentioning them as if it wasn't 5 other people on the helicopter.
No, but you gotta
I'm feeling
understand.
type of
Cody,
way,
you gotta
like
understand, Cody, that man was a celebrity. Now,
I
there was
get
other
that.
people on there, and you know, once their names came out, because at first they didn't put their names out.
Listen, if we crashed into a bus that had Aerosmith on it, they're gonna be like, Aerosmith crashed into a bunch of people from Cleveland.
Right. And then
They don't care about us. Eventually they gonna pull our names out.
They don't care about us, but if they said my
a celebrity.
government name on the news, niggas gonna be like, who the fuck is that? But if they said Kobe Bryant, everybody know who Kobe Bryant is. So sometimes that celebrity status gets you to the top of the list. But you got people mad because that man's name was said first. And real talk, They shouldn't
It's
even-
news. His name is news. That's what it is.
Real talk,
Bottom
they
line.
shouldn't even said nothing.
I feel like-
They had
right.
that man shit out. If you really want to talk about it, they put that man shit out on TMZ before any of his family found out.
That's
His
how they
wife
found
out.
out.
His kids found out that he died on the motherfucking TMZ
You
before
live
the
in a-
police even had a chance to notify them. So if you really mad about them saying Kobe Bryant's name, keep that in mind. His family found out on the motherfucking tabloid news. They didn't even get the courtesy. They didn't even get the motherfucking right to get informed that their loved one had passed away through the proper channels. So it's good and bad that come with being a celebrity. Because if he'd have been
Hey, that's
anybody
not
else,
me. I can't invite no
if he'd have been anybody else, it wouldn't have been on TMZ before his family got notified. If it had been anybody else, it wouldn't have been plastered all over Facebook for the world to see before anybody got notified.
If
So-
I'm mistaken, if you like a regular person and they do that, they could sue. But
They
once you
could sue.
but at a celebrity status, it's some legal that make you legally
Actually-
able to.
actually,
public
you know
property.
what?
You become
can't
Some
public-
sue.
aspects of your
Actually,
some
you
It's a
can't-
aspects
word
of
for
your
that.
life.
Actually,
You
you
become a
can't sue.
public figure.
You can't sue. The reason
public
being-
As a
figure.
private citizen, you can sue if people
But that
disclose
because you
it.
have
because you
no
don't have that
expectation of
expectation of
privacy.
privacy, right?
There's no expectation of privacy if you die in a public manner. It's just general human.
But then they
fucking-
probably wouldn't even report it like that if
It's
you
just
want.
exactly because they're not a celebrity and you're not gonna get paid. The person who told TMZ, I heard, got paid like 20 grand, 25 grand, or something like that for leaking that information to them. It's about money. So for all those people that's mad because Kobe name got first, take a breath and imagine if you found out your mama died, or you found out your daddy died, or you found out your brother or your sister or one of your kids died on the fucking tabloid news.
Man, my condolences to all the families because I lost a child before and I know what it feel like and it ain't gonna never be right for them people.
Facts.
Never. It's never gonna be the same as don't call me and say as I'm all right. I'm never gonna be all right. I'm cool, but I'm never gonna be all right. Cause that type of a loss like that changes everything. The whole world in itself is not the same without your loved one in there. So I like to offer them my condolences. But like I say, I don't really know nothing about sports, so I might not have the same type of love him, but I love him as a human being, that's horrible. And that's even more horrible the way it happened and how it happened and all that. I don't
And
even want
with
to get
that
into
being
the bullshit
said,
details.
Let's move
Cause
on
that
to
shit is
somebody
crazy how they releasing all this information and like you said, people finding out about stuff from social media and whatnot.
All right, man. With that being said, let's move. Let's get out.
Titties.
Let's get out.
Cockeyed titties.
I don't have cockeyed titties. I do.
Let's get out to it, man.
I don't
hey,
have cockeyed titties.
hey, we
Most cockeyed people don't know they cockeyed unless
I'm
they see
not
their reflection.
cockeyed.
They gotta know they're cockeyed when they look in the mirror and they only see.
Hey, Angie.
But in that mirror,
Hey.
they look like they looking at each other eye to eye.
No, you know you cockeyed when you cockeyed.
No, you
they
know
be
you
like, what's
cockeyed
that
after
eye
a whole
looking
bunch
at? You
of
know
people
that
tell
shit
you
look
you
like that.
cockeyed.
Hey, but you
I
look like,
know.
what is that other eye looking
If
at?
both of your eyes looking cockeyed at each other, they look straight ahead to each
That
other.
ain't how that goes.
That's not how
I
that
think you
goes.
gotta pick an eye. I don't know.
Hey, look, man.
Hey, they looking both
Now
of your
they
eyes at
both
once.
they cross
Hey,
it. They
listen,
both
Only way
want
you
it.
gonna know is you see a
If you
picture of
cockeyed
you.
out there, call us.
If you see a picture of yourself.
You know what? You know what?
Hey, hey,
Stop it.
You see a picture of you
We have
cockeyed
questions
like,
that
why
need
is my
answers.
eye like that? Because you
Look,
cockeyed.
man. Can I get those?
I think
All right, look
I
here,
don't know
man.
if I
Hey,
wanna
hey, listen.
share.
Hey, first off,
Oh, they got
hey,
pork in them.
Renita
Could you
Stay
get those
Ready said,
pork?
hey, Red Rabbit.
Sorry.
Renita,
Pork.
Renita Stay Ready said, hey, Red Rabbit.
Rabbit. Can you
That's your road dog. You can tell that she listening to
Pork.
What's up, ready?
what else snack said, man?
Over the way over there.
Hey, Rabbit. Could you get that information out
they're
for
so good.
the girls, the babies?
Yes. The sizes?
Yes.
Yeah, I just sent it to
Can you see? Give everybody that information right now. Okay.
So
Come on,
where was
Rabbit.
we at?
We were about to get started because somebody started talking about.
Titties.
We gone. We moved on from the titties. Titties
Right.
is no longer a subject today.
Right.
All day
Right now we
Tuesday.
talking about. Hey man, listen.
All day Tuesday can just be brought up
You
in
know what?
conversation.
You know what? No more titty Tuesday.
Our
I'm
guest.
done. I quit. No more titty Tuesday.
We just
We'll
lost
get it out. We'll
22
get it.
viewers.
Hey, listen. Hey, Rabbit.
People just hung up as soon as you said that.
All right. Hey, listen here, man. Let's get down to business, man. Real
a
talk.
lot of text messages to find it.
Hey, Rabbit.
What's up?
We heard that you went to pro.
That is correct.
You went to the pro convention.
Yes.
How was it?
Awesome.
I was
For
telling
those
awesome
that don't
points.
know, what's the pro convention?
Okay, please explain to those who don't know what the pro convention
The
is.
Pro Convention is where you globally get together at a convention. They have breakout sessions, talk about different stuff, far as how to start a new club,
Let me get the gummy bear.
the rules and responsibilities of each officer, different outlaw rules, MC rules, social club rules. They talk about a lot of things. This year they catered more to the women riders, which was awesome. Indian was there. They was a sponsor. They had some bikes out there where you can try to, just try them out, ride them. They gave away women apparel. They had a fashion show. It was cool. It was good networking. I would say it's one of my best networking out throughout the years I've been on the scene.
Okay.
Did you get any new information that you want to share with our listeners?
Oh yeah, I got all the information. I learned that WMC, which I never seen before, never heard of before, a WMC
Never seen that?
means women motorcycle club.
You've never seen that?
Never.
I know what you mean.
I've never seen that before. So a lot of the clubs, a lot of the female clubs in Texas, they're considered as a woman motorcycle club.
How do my thing keep shutting off? Okay, so now, what else? What did
Talking
what
to
did
the
you
mic.
learn that was different than how we practice?
Talking to the mic.
What did you learn that was different? That was like that made you like, what the fuck?
I was amazed at how the outlaws all hung out together. I was amazed. I've never seen that before. It was cool. They opened their clubhouse. You can go to the clubhouse and kick it with them. It was cool. It was cool.
That was your what the fuck moment.
Right, I'm like,
Well, I want to know.
I can't tell you what my fuck moment was.
No, not
Listen,
fuck moment.
this is a
What the
family
fuck?
show.
There's
like
a
he asked you,
difference.
did you see something down there that made you say, damn, that's different? I never seen nothing like that.
Oh, I seen a lot. When I say a lot of female clubs. A lot of female clubs. When I say I probably networked with probably 50 or more clubs with females, there's a lot of female clubs down there.
Then you said the convention was geared towards the female rider?
This year, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would
This
bet.
year.
Mhm.
But as far as the state of Texas, they have a lot of female clubs.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't see that many social clubs. There was a lot of social clubs, but they were from other states. But as far as Texas, they had a lot of female rider clubs down there. They do a
So
lot of rides down there for females, far as ground pounding, different organization, charities. They do a lot of those type of rides out there in Texas and California.
Did you see any practices, procedures, or event ideas that you think we could do up here? Like, did you want to bring back home? Like, let's do one of those back home.
Oh yeah.
no, keep that to yourself.
No, we should share it. We need to do an all-female ride here in Cleveland. We need to come together as one.
Don't y'all already have that?
I said we need to do an all-female ride as one. We need to all come together, ones who ride in the club, active in a club. We don't have that. We need that. We need to show that unity.
You know what? I think if it's gonna be an all-female ride, it should be an all-female ride. I don't think we should exclude anybody, whether they're in a club, not in a club, active,
you saying any-
retired.
any female
I
that
think
got
it
a
should
bike
just be
that
an
wanna ride?
all-female ride. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't come with the bullshit. We real riders. We're not going out there to show out and stunt, and
Exactly.
we're not doing all of that. We going.
No titties.
No thongs?
I'm gonna have my titties on. You know, I will ride in the. I
They can
will
wear
ride in the
thongs,
corset in
though.
a heartbeat. I give no fuck.
Yeah, you know,
They
We
did
did a
it
lot
nice
of,
and
we
hot,
did
but
a
I'm
lot
just
of,
saying.
we did a lot of discussion on different rides, and then they have
got pork in it.
I'm just saying that. I mean that to me is real female unity.
Yes.
Not no exclusions. Like if you can ride and you want to ride and you're a female, this is the day we're gonna come together and we're gonna show them who we are.
There is a club down in Texas called Too Deep, and they have a seminar every year for all new riders, whether you're in a club or not. And they help you get you on the highway, how to ride their roads, how to travel, all kind of things like that.
That seems like it'd be nice.
And then there was a group, a magazine called Black Girls Ride magazine. Portia, she was there. She's from California, and she had a session on what to do, how to prepare for a road trip, budget, insurance, eating, stops, networking, making sure you know your state laws when you cross them. As far as CCWs, make sure you're reaching out to that dominant club. Let you know you're coming.
Let them know you're coming through. People that don't understand how important that is.
Yeah.
I'm just coming through. I'm not stopping. And if I do stop, I just need some rest.
Yes.
I'm going to get a couple of hours and I'm going to be out your way.
And she said the most important thing when women are traveling, you need to know where there's a mechanic shop. You need to know who somebody in that state can help you if you break down. Never stop at a motel on a dark road. Always go to a city park with a hotel that's so somebody can see you and know who you are.
I'm going no shit ain't got no cameras.
I always tell people when
I like them dodgy motels like that,
rule, even if I'm creeping off somewhere, it's at least one person that knows where I'm going.
Yes.
The address I'm going, the person I'm going with. So if something does happen to me, at least y'all know where to start. Y'all know who to fuck up first.
So you admit you be on some sneaky shit?
I have been in the past. I don't do it anymore. I'm older and wiser now.
I met a young lady.
Just saying.
She hit all 50 states, and she said she's been in Canada twice, and she about to hit Alaska again.
Bless her heart.
Yeah.
I ain't got it in me. I ain't got it in me. I was talking to somebody yesterday. Like I can't go more than 6, 7, 8 is pushing it. After that, I'm tired. I'm tired. I can't. And believe me, I love the ride. It's just my body can't do it no more. As much as I'd like. Well, you know what? Once I get a tune-up, I don't know. I'm gonna try it. Try it again.
You got a Harley. I thought y'all could ride them anywhere.
You can ride them anywhere. That's not the point. The point is I get tired.
Oh, okay.
I heard you got one too, Shaka.
Yeah, while you talking about them Harley riders, welcome to the club. We gonna see, ain't we? We gonna see how far you can ride on your Harley.
Hey, listen, man.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Anybody know me, man? They really know. I really don't care about Harley Davidson like that.
But you bought one.
I bought one because my president made me buy one.
Is there anybody out there that believes that this is the reason why this
Don't
man
act like you don't know my president.
I know your president, but does anybody believe this is why he bought this bike? Ultimately, you wanted that bike.
No.
So you saying you didn't have a choice. So you saying if you didn't buy that bike, you wouldn't be a part of your bike club, and that was ultimately the reason why you bought the bike. Nigga, don't lie.
I'm saying.
No, and I'm sorry.
Anybody
I ain't
who
even call
knows
you a
me-
nigga. Black man, don't lie to me.
Anybody knows me know I follow orders. So if you know my president,
So if I gave you an order, you gonna follow it?
you ain't my president.
So okay, EG, I need to talk to you as soon as possible.
He ain't my president either.
Who your president?
He's not my president.
Who your president?
No, you don't need to know.
That's some little shit.
Dr. Cleveland.
Who's Clinton's president?
He just been right.
Who's Clinton's president?
Hey, listen, don't be listening.
You my brother, though. Real now?
Okay, back to Red Rabbit.
That's what we doing?
Back to Red Rabbit. People don't feed into that foolishness. Okay, Rabbit.
It was cool. Everybody was nice. It was a great networking.
I get it.
There was no issues. It was fun. The vibe of it, the energy of it was nice. It was really nice.
What did you see that you didn't like? You ain't got to mention nobody's name.
I didn't see anything I didn't like. I loved everything that was there, what they did.
Okay.
Everything was
I
cool.
should have gone. I backed out at
So
the last minute.
now-
Ended up going to Springfield.
Hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Because something bothered me when people say that's. You said you liked
Oh, you did that.
everything. Everything you heard, you liked.
Yes.
Liked everything you heard.
Yes.
So you didn't think anything you heard was bullshit?
No.
Okay. That's good. That's a rarity.
Every time I go, every year I go, I learn something different, and I add on to what I know.
I'm not speaking of just, I'm just speaking in general, so there was nobody was like, he was like, man, really? That's bullshit. No, but,
Well, you have
because I know they have a lot of different,
I was saying they have a lot of different seminars. She picked the one that she was
Right.
interested in, and it was valuable information to her.
right.
Somebody else might have been like,
For the
check this
rubber,
shit
it's
out.
gonna squeeze it.
So some bullshit.
Okay,
What?
let me back up
take
here.
the case
I was
off.
in a session with the business manager,
Okay.
and a young man, I ain't gonna mention his club, he's a business manager, and when they start speaking of the responsibility and task for a business manager, he was like, you know, after this, y'all can have this. I'm not doing all that. And we
But he's
all-
there representing his club.
Right. we
So the
all-
whole room
And,
like,
and he's a business manager.
Yeah, all these
So he
women
like,
in
I
there.
gotta do all that, y'all. Fuck that.
we know your money gonna be fucked up.
You know, it's a lot of people out here like that.
Right.
There's a lot of people out here that just try and wing it.
But you
And
know
then
what?
When somebody tell them they wrong, the first thing they want to do is debate instead of learning the right way.
You
Because
know-
there's a lot of niggas out here.
Some people
that
can't
don't
help but
care about
debate.
being. There's a lot of niggas that don't care about being right. They just don't want nobody to tell them that they wrong.
But you know what though? This is the thing though. Now, Rabbit. Now, the thing about that is, you're right, man. There are a lot of people out here like that. But see, this is the catch to that shit, man. He's an officer. You feel what I'm saying? He's in charge of making your club flourish financially. And that's his attitude. Because a lot of people, if they actually knew what the job entailed, they would never took it.
Want it.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? So, excuse me. Now, anybody know me? I'm hard on presidents. And I know
People
a
don't
lot of
realize that's any of the jobs.
I mean, no, I'm
the
hard on,
most, I mean, the simplest job
right.
turns into everybody else's job.
But you know
No matter
what?
what you are, you still end up being a psychologist and an arbitrator, plus you the business manager.
It's like being a parent. Being
Yeah.
president is like being a parent. So, but me, and so it's like I understand what being a president is, and that's why I don't want no parts of it. I understand what it takes to be president, and I understand how that shit'll turn your hair gray for real. For real, for real. Anybody been president will tell you that shit'll turn your hair gray. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Just think, man. If you president during
I don't want
the
president.
time when you lose members or some bullshit really go wrong, guess what? Everybody looking at you to straighten it out. That's what being president mean. They looking for you. You see, as president, you can't ever drop the ball.
Never.
Not one time.
But see, let me jump in there. See, first of all, part of dropping the ball is not about making the mistake. That's not just for presidents. That's for not even any officer. That's for anybody that's in a club. Part of dropping the ball is not about making a mistake. So you got a lot of people out here that's just so afraid to make a mistake that if somebody attempt to tell them that they're making a mistake, you get met with extreme denial. But making a mistake is not what makes you drop the ball. What makes you drop the ball is not acknowledging that you made a mistake and correcting it. What makes you drop the ball is when you see something going wrong or somebody tells you that something's going wrong and you let your pride get in the way. You let your pride make you keep going down this road instead of stopping, take a stop, and maybe reroute. You let your pride keep you going down that road because you're afraid to change directions because you're afraid that if you change directions, people are gonna look at you like, okay, well he must not know what he's doing. But don't none of us know everything. Don't none of us know 100% of what to do. What makes us who we are is how we deal with our failures.
Let me ask you this, Magic. What did it take to be a good president?
First of all, the ability to listen. Like they say, you can't be a good teacher if you can't be a good student. First of all, first of all, let me explain something to you. I didn't join the club because I wanted some other motherfucker to tell me what to do. That being said, you being the president is not because motherfuckers want you to tell them what to do. So if you decide you want to be a president because you just want to be the dude that's telling everybody what to do, you're probably not suited for that job. Because see, a good president is going to take advice from everybody, from the lowest man on the totem pole to the highest man on the totem pole. A good president is going to take advice from people in the club and also people outside of the club. Don't mean they're going to implement that advice. But without all the information available, how can you truly make an informed decision?
All right. Bet. Rabbit. What does it take to be a good president?
Like Matt just said, be a listener to everyone. Come together as one, work it out, come with the best solution. Always be a good leader. I mean, when you step out, people looking at you, represent your club in the most of class. You know what I'm saying? Be respectful. You gotta lead by example.
Key word right there. Big baby. Was why look like you sit there stealing candy?
Mouth full of nuts.
Right. Mouth full of nuts.
Lord.
Absolutely nothing wrong with it.
What does it take to be a good president? What do you think?
First of all, I think you have to be a bit of an asshole.
I have to
for
agree
real.
with that.
I honestly, I think you have to.
What's
Learn how
Magic's
to-
president quality?
You have to learn how to make a hard line in the sand.
Facts.
You have to be able to know when to discipline properly for the right reasons,
True.
not biased reasons. You have to look at for the good of the whole, not just the good of one.
Facts. Big facts.
You have to be damn near. I don't even want to say that word. You got to be really, really goddamn good. Put it that way. Because there's a lot that people look to you for. And it's not always the right reasons they're looking for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to realize that everything you do affects not just you, not just the person next to you, but potentially your entire nation.
Facts. Big
So you always have to think 10 steps ahead of everybody else. But always make sure that whatever you thinking about is going to benefit everybody. It's not just the direction that you want shit to move in, but it's the right direction for it to move in.
Where would you get that information from?
You said, he asked me, what did I think?
No, I'm asking you, where would you get that information from? As to whether or not
I would
it's
hope
right.
through experience and maturity, and hopefully somebody raised your ass right, because you need some morals and standards.
So if a person become a president and they ain't never listened to shit, what type of president you think?
Are you gonna have a shitty ass president? Because a motherfucker, he's gonna turn into a dictator.
Because see, this is the part that everybody misses.
It's gonna turn into a socialist society. It's like, nigga, do what I say, not, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody miss about being a president. All of the officers in the club serve at the pleasure of the president. But the president serves at the pleasure of the body. That's the give and take. That's the back and forth.
It's
That's
definitely a two-way
the
street.
Part of it. Everybody on that cabinet is immediately responsible to the whims of the president, but the president is immediately responsible to the whims of the body. If your club doesn't work that way, that's how you end up with a dictatorship.
Well, because the body can actually vote the president out
Facts.
with just one meeting.
Well, some bodies can.
Yeah.
Some bodies can.
A lot of people just don't. You know what, man? I've seen a lot of times. People, if you don't like the shit your president do, y'all know as a body, y'all can vote to get him out, vote him or her out. of
Look at, if you
office.
can't vote him out stage, you're cool.
Nah,
but
no,
you
listen,
got
no, listen.
enough motherfuckers to do it.
Well, listen. In a sense, that is a coup. In a sense, that is a coup. When you get,
I'm just talking about it.
no. Inside of the club, because when you get, this how I go. People start going around talking, and say, "Hey, man, this is what we should do. We should change this.
I'm eating this shit.
We should change this person. We should change that person. I don't like the way he did this. Or I don't like the way she did that." And you get the other members to follow you, and then you get enough members with that support. Then you call for that vote. But you don't call for that vote without the body's support.
Let me add this though. I think this might be real important for other people. Like, to me, if you've never been an officer or a president, it's gonna be real hard for you to define a good president because now listen, hear me out now, because you're on this side of the spectrum and you know what you want in a president, and unless you ever been an officer or walked in the shooter, but you really don't understand the other side. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. When I was in prison, I was the president of an organization. And all along, I thought, okay, I really don't want to be a president, but if it ever came, I would do it. So when it came, I started doing it. Then I started realizing all the other stuff. And like what she said, the president should listen all the time. That's a very big thing she just said. Like, I couldn't hear everybody, so I had to get a panel of people who I trusted to be filters for me. So instead of coming straight to me, you got to talk to them first. And they all know which issues is weighted enough where I should address them. See, people get it confused when they say, okay, this the president, so he got to address everything that's going on with everything.
No,
I'm not saying
how
you
it
do.
go.
This is not an accusation, it's a statement. I'm saying people think
That's not how it go.
that when you over everybody, you're
that's what
supposed to have
people
all the answers. They look to you for all the answers. You got to know stuff that even you don't know. And if you don't know, you ain't got to be not afraid to say, let me check on that or let me sleep on
Don't
it
be
and come
fucking
back to you.
winging.
A lot of people get so under pressure, they just say anything to get you out their face. And now you done ran off with some misinformation or a misperception. What I'm saying is, to me, to be a president, for me to tell you a good president, I'm going to say it discernment. That's definitely something you got to have. You got to have patience, discernment, understanding, acceptance, and still be able to make the tough decisions, because that's really ultimately your job, is to make the call on everybody's behalf.
Make that decision.
And I think it was you, Big say you got every decision you make ain't just for you. Every contract you signing all our names to it.
Facts.
And I'm talking about, figuratively. If the president say, man, fuck these niggas, we riding. You feel what I'm saying? Then we'll talk about it later. You feel what I'm saying? But he gotta know that I can't let this get me, or I can't let this affect me in a way that it's gonna drag them into a negative energy. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So it's definitely like parts of it that I think that it's like going in the store and you see something in the store on the shelf and you say, this should only cost $20. And then you mind, this store high as hell. But you don't know on the back end what the store had to pay for shipping, manufacturing, blah, 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 how they came to that price. All you know is, as a consumer, this store high as fucking is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the case. They really wanted to bring this product to market for you to be able to buy, and it costs them so as, you know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is that you can't really speak about the president until you've been president.
Exactly. You cannot be a president. You can
can't
just be an
understand what they
officer.
go through.
An officer, any officer.
See, I disagree with that.
Anybody
I disagree with that too.
I'm gonna tell you why I
ain't saying
disagree.
you can't say.
I understand what you're
No,
saying.
I can't say
I know
you
what he's saying.
can't
Don't
have
get me
your
wrong.
own opinion, but I don't think it'll be a full, fair opinion. Like it couldn't be a full, fair understanding of what you being asked to say. Like you asking me what makes a good car. If I ain't a mechanic, I don't really know. But all I know, if it drive good and don't get no bumpy, little shit.
Do you know that most presidents in bike clubs, they do seek the opinion of the body? Because a lot of times when you just spring shit on the body, it don't go down well. It don't go down real well. So that's why a lot of times
You need to canvas beforehand.
Right. They bring that to the floor, you feel what I'm saying? And they ask for input of a certain individual or maybe the whole body or whatever. The problem comes in when the body says, hey man, I don't want to participate. And the president says, we participate anyway. And it go bad.
Facts.
That's when the president has a problem. And that's when it's a mark on the president's card. Joop. He dropped the ball on that one. See, because now we say this, now listen. The marks.
You gotta be strong.
Right. But the marks, see, because guess what? When election time come around, that card come out. And they start counting them marks. Remember when he did that shit there? Remember when he fucked up the motherfucking road? You see what I'm saying? See, so as a president, you gotta be all about your P's and Q's. That's why you really supposed to have been in a club before you can be president in a club. The problem comes now is you got people who've never been in a motorcycle club who saying they're president of a motorcycle club.
Now, listen, I want to tell Goldie why I disagree with him. He said he is of the opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, that you don't think a person should be able to state what a good president.
What I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it clear.
It's as hard as you got.
Right, that's what
if you're not in his shoes.
It's hard for anybody to say anything. Everybody got a mouth full of chocolate and shit. Everybody ever like.
Go to this. I got you.
Why not? I want it from him.
Go ahead.
That's exactly how I mean. So you get to understand. I don't think that a person that haven't been in a leadership position can fairly give a full opinion on what a good president, because they don't know the full spectrum of what it takes to be a president.
If you've been
no,
around long enough,
wait.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me finish.
I'm saying unless you like, you can get something like on Amazon, you look at a product. They let you
Stop.
flip it.
All I wanted
If
to
you
hear
can't
is what
see
you
the back
said.
of it, you really don't know what you get. You're just looking at face
But
value.
All I wanted to know is what you said.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Go back.
And I disagree with you
On what
because
point? It's fine. I don't know why. I'm curious.
they can't give an opinion on something without having a full understanding, right?
No, I said I don't feel they basically what I'm saying is they can't give a full just opinion, in my opinion. That their opinion can't be, I can't look at them as a person with an opinion that I can say that's the full opinion, that's it right there. I need to look for that in a good president. I can't take that because they never been one, so it's going to be hard for them to understand what it takes.
Does anybody else understand why I disagree with all of that? An opinion is just that, it's an opinion.
Right. I understand what you're saying.
Are you a good judge of
I
character?
understand what I'm saying.
And a lot of it is being a judge of character, too. I'm sorry. Go ahead, caller.
That's true.
who this?
Hello?
Speak up or we bang.
Hey,
There we go.
how y'all doing?
Hey, what's
You
going on?
got to listen in your phone, not on your device. You listen on the device.
Right.
Hold on 1 second. We're going to connect you with the, I'm going to figure it out line. Hold on.
That's it.
Don't call in on the I'm going to figure it out line.
You got to be ready.
Got
This machine gun
a call on your phone. You can't listen on your device. It brings too much feedback. Hey, listen, man. Hey, Rabbit, you was saying.
I got a good way.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on.
I got a good one. If I
Oh,
can't-
Lord
you got a Harley, right?
Yes,
You-
absolutely.
and you ride it regularly, right?
Yes, I do.
I could be a certified Harley mechanic from out of the School of Harleys and could put one together, and I can't tell you an honest opinion on this Harley unless I ride one.
But that's not the
Unless I
same.
can have
But you
all
know
the
what? That's
knowledge in the
apples and
world.
oranges because we're
But
talking
without
about people.
experience, I
Right.
can't give you my full opinion on this bike because I never rode it.
I
You
give
know,
you
I
my
say you
fully
can't
president on
compare the
president
two because number one, we're talking about people. So
Right,
you
I
have
understand, but
you
I'm
have to
giving
be
you
able to
an
judge,
analogy.
but
Go
you
ahead.
can't use that analogy.
Why
I'm saying
can't I?
you can't use that analogy
Okay.
because we're talking about people and you're talking about machines.
Let me jump in here right quick.
I'm talking about an officer. We're talking about
Did
the
you just put my
position. We're not talking about people. We're talking about the
No, 'cause you don't put my
attributes
shit
of
out.
people in this position.
But see, this is the key,
Everybody
Goldie. This is the
gets
key,
it. That's
Goldie. This is the key, Goldie. See, if you've been around long
But it's
enough,
mine. I paid for it.
and
to
you've
do this.
experienced
I paid
enough
for it to do this.
presidents,
Right.
you can tell a good president and a bad president. You see, let me tell you something. When you've been around,
You
when
don't
you've
have
been-
to be an
right,
officer to know that that's a bad president.
Right.
I'm not saying
You might,
that at
and
all.
you know that she's
Yeah,
going to be a
absolutely.
good president because you see
We're
how
not
she
talking
moves, what
about
she do
personal
for her
people.
club.
We asked you what is the what do you think a good president is. We didn't ask what type of dude you got to be the good president. We asked you
No.
Yeah,
the qualities.
yeah.
The qualities
The
that
qualities
you need
Qualities ain't
to
a
be a good
person.
president.
So this a quality can't be good or bad. It's either good quality or bad. We're not talking about okay. We can tell if this person is good one or a bad one.
Listen.
And if you roll in the club and make sure you can
Talking to the mic. So I want them to hear you.
Right.
Say that again.
a good leadership, understanding every
Put it
role.
closer to your mouth.
Okay, put it in there.
My sister.
It's a
See,
good
y'all think I be in by myself on the
Understands every
bullshit.
role position up under her umbrella.
I get
If you
that.
don't understand those roles, how can you lead your club and the rest of your
Facts.
officers?
So say it again. Say it again.
Are we done talking about cooking nipples?
What?
You said y'all talking about crooked nipples.
No, we're not talking about cricket
No, we
nipples.
talking about Ashley Ball.
We gonna figure it out.
But she
We're not talking about nipples.
she basically pretty much kind of is saying the same thing I'm saying in a different lane.
Yeah.
You have to understand the whole ins and outs and intricacies of presidency to say he would make a great president, or say this is what a good president is. Okay, people that's good people can come into positions and with a certain level of their integrity gonna make them learn how to be, if they don't already know how to be, a good officer of any organization. You feel what I'm
If
saying?
you
One of them is discernment, and the other one is integrity. Those two words.
Now you
is
burning the
what
filter.
makes
That's disgusting.
Those two words is what makes a good president.
okay, I agree.
Discernment and integrity.
Facts.
Because my point is this: presidents are still people. They're not gods. They're not omnipotent. They're not all-knowing.
It smelled like filter.
They're not all-knowing. Presidents don't know everything, no more than someone else does.
If this is crooked, they will do it again. I
I don't know. Call him up. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from home.
Who?
What's up, Dre?
Listen, I just want to say something. Listen.
Go ahead, Teddy man.
But I want to say something to y'all. If y'all can hear me.
We can hear you.
That's somebody. Okay, listen. You ever heard that Donald Trump was prophesied to be the president of the United States?
Say that again.
What?
Because Donald Trump was prophesied to be president of the United States. Nostradamus predicted that years ago.
We're going to figure that out for you.
Hold on. Wait. Stop. Wait.
We're not about to play with him talking
Wait.
about some Nostradamus on bike, man.
Wait. Hold on, man. Hold on. Stop.
kind of buttons I press.
Stop. Look, man. I want to get back to something. man. I want to get back to something.
Nostradamus. I never thought we even used that ever on this whole entire. That word should never end.
Hold on, man.
This nigga.
Red Rabbit, I got a question because we was talking about. Hold up.
I don't want that.
Hold up.
Up over here.
We was talking about. You said something that you didn't like. We were discussing something that you didn't like. There.
She said she liked everything.
No. Wait. Hear me out.
Oh, well.
Now, you said you never like.
I'm not gonna say I didn't like him. I was in a totally 100% disagreement on how the gentleman presented himself in the session with rags on his back in the position that he's holding.
Please elaborate.
Right.
Without mentioning. No,
Well, we was in a business manager session, and I guess he is a business manager for his club. And when the young lady was talking about the responsibility and task of a business manager and a treasurer and everybody should be doing in your club, an MC club, he said, "I'm not doing all that. Y'all can have these rags." And I felt that was a disrespectful.
He would have
To
been
his
kicked
past.
out of my club
Immediately.
Immediately,
The
yes.
moment I got that motherfucker
So that's the representation.
memo.
And you know what? Being the asshole
On
that
site,
I
though.
am, I'd have sat right next to him. Be like, hand him to me, bro.
Yeah.
I'll take him
First
for
of
you.
all,
I'll take him back for you.
I want to say this just because
I'll take him back
so
for
it's
you.
been
You would have
said.
left the parking lot.
So if you
Not with them on.
if you ever let come out your mouth, they can have these rags because you don't agree with something. You need to just turn them on in.
Yeah.
You need to just turn them on in.
If that's even part of your thought process.
Because nobody's going to agree with 100% of everything that everybody says. Sometimes you have to have disagreements. Sometimes you have to bounce ideas off of each other. Sometimes your perception and my perception might come from two totally different angles. So you see something one way and I might see something the other way. Now, just because we don't see things the same way don't mean that we're not looking at the same thing. So we got to have a conversation. We got to make it make sense. I might know something about this that you don't. And in that conversation, I might reveal that to you and you will go, you know what? Okay, I understand now. Or vice versa. You might do the same thing to me. You might tell me something that I have never experienced or that I have never considered. And then I might turn around and be like, okay, I understand what you're saying. But if you don't have enough wherewithal to have a conversation when you disagree, see, I always say that we can disagree without being disagreeable. See, now Facebook has destroyed that. Now everybody think that a disagreement, even the slightest disagreement, is supposed to turn into a fight or an
We
argument.
at war.
Or, yeah, right, facts, war, just big war, just whatever. Just fuck your mom and them and everything. I'm gonna kick your dog when I see it. I'm gonna scratch your car up because people just don't want to be told that they're wrong. So when you find, especially in a leadership position, a president or a vice president or a national or something like that, when you find someone who just cannot take any type of advice, when you find someone who just cannot be told something that's outside of their wheelhouse, something that's outside of what they already believe, that person is broken. They're broken. They don't want to learn anything else.
I hate when I don't have disagreements, because disagreements is the seed
Facts.
of change and progress.
Facts. If everybody thinking the same thing, somebody ain't thinking.
If we all feel like, if it was up to some people, it wouldn't be no new music. We'd be still listening to these same songs over and over. It would be the same everything, because people are really uncomfortable with change.
But this is the catch, though, man. This is the catch. All change is not good.
It's not, but
Some
progress
clubs
No,
have had
necessary.
the same president for the
progress and
last
change
25
comes
years.
from
just
like
because he
people
was the-
disagreeing, like maybe I want to try it this way.
It happens.
And you say no, and then eventually down the pike, it's a whole new thing put in place because it's a merger of two different thought processes.
But you know what, though? This is the thing, though. Like I always say, that 1-2. See, that 1-2. The 1-2 is very important.
Y'all got a guest come?
No.
Y'all got
dude
y'all
that-
pistols?
That's
I
dude
ain't
at
answering
the, that's
that.
dude at the door talking about, I know about crooked titties.
Anyway, see, the 1-2 is important. I call it a 1-2 step because the 1-2 step is simple. Keeping it simple. You feel what I'm saying? If you're like, I'm going to say this again. If your club been around 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years, you done tried it every which way you can. You done tried all the new stuff that came along. You tried this way, you tried the up way, sideways, back and forth. You done tried it all. And it don't work. But what always work is the 1-2. The
sleepy.
basic shit that your club was built on. Always work. And that gets you through anything. You follow me? That's what I'm talking about right there. Now, Rabbit.
I would say this, Shaka. Being there, I noticed a generation gap.
Say it.
Huge generation gap.
How was it?
It was more younger people than the old school people.
But you know what?
And they talked about that inside the president's session.
And not trying to be funny, that's because it's and y'all don't get offended. Y'all that
gotta
don't
get
understand.
offended.
What a fucking
Anything that
offended, I don't
starts
care.
out like that, it's gonna be offensive.
Right,
gotta
right.
get offended.
Fuck it, whatever. PRO shit just came along in the last few years, so a lot of old school
Told
like
you.
fuck PRO. What the fuck is that? Public relations is getting on your motherfucking bike and riding. That's what a PRO is. You know what I'm saying? That's what. And we all PROs.
And you know what, man?
Well, I'm saying that's the way a lot of old schools look at it.
Yeah.
That's
some
what
of them
it
are coming
is.
around and realizing that okay, we might have to, feed into some of this bullshit and network with them on their level. If
I
we
mean,
wanna
but
keep
it's,
it moving.
you can't deny it's a real thing. It's
It
a
is
real.
a real
It's
thing.
no, I'm saying. I'm not saying a real position. It's not a real. It's. I don't give a fuck. I say it.
So
PRO
it's
is
dudes
not
dressing
like
in fucking
a
dresses
role.
and
Like
shit.
it's not. Everybody in your club is supposed to be a fucking PRO.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
Stop. A fucking PRO.
on,
Your
but when I
business
say it-
manager. Your business manager.
Supposed to handle the business.
There it is. You feel what I'm saying?
The business
Now,
manager should be collecting the flyers.
so let me ask you this: so when you was talking to other people out
What
there,
is
Rabbit,
Earthquake talking about?
what are some of the things that they practice in their city that you was like, oh, we don't do that?
Oh, that's Earthquake at the
I
door.
told him to chill for
I
a
really
minute.
didn't get too deep into that.
That wasn't you didn't do that?
No, I didn't
You
get
didn't pick
too
brains?
That's crazy.
No, I
You
went
disrupting
when I
the
did
show like
network.
that, man. That's
I
crazy.
network. I just
I like-
networking.
See,
And
I'm-
see, here's the thing.
And I really want to go back to that side of the map. I really want to go back to Texas. I want to go to California, Oklahoma. I want to visit them and check out how they do their parties. I do know they do their party as dance party or anniversary. They don't do cabarets.
we just call it cabaret.
We call it cabaret with categories.
Right.
They do theirs with just a party without categories. They do it different over there.
Right?
So I do want to go and check out, see how they run their parties and how they kick it.
Did you meet a lot of support clubs?
There was some there.
Hold on, Magic, give it a mic back. Give it a mic back. Go ahead. Did you meet a lot? Did you meet a lot of support clubs?
It wasn't a lot of support clubs, but there was some there.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: you said there were a lot of female clubs there. Were they support clubs?
No, there was women motorcycle club.
So they weren't.
We done
support
came a
clubs.
long way,
Whoa,
baby.
whoa, wait, no. So they women motorcycle clubs, but
And I'm in the
they
man's
weren't support
club.
clubs.
No, they weren't support club. They've been out for a long time. These clubs.
Okay.
These clubs been out for a long time. Some are working on like their 10th and 12th, 15th year anniversaries and stuff. Like
So did those females have motorcycle clubs spelled out on their vests?
No, they had WMC,
Okay.
and that's why like, what is WMC? And then the one girl like,
That's the short version.
short version, yeah.
Yeah, basically the short version.
Mm.
See, we just say spell out motorcycle club for females.
Now, I'd like to say this so that it's been said.
Here we go.
If you say nipples, boy.
Of course.
Titties.
No, it's not titties this time. Not titties this time.
I quit.
Every time I
I ain't
look
coming
up,
back next week.
every time I listen, every time I read about something about the motorcycle scene, I always hear, it ain't what it used to be.
Oh my God, you
It
know what?
ain't
I'ma
fun
step
like
away
it
on
used
that
to
one.
be. But the thing about it is I mean, like Rabbit was saying, she went to network. She went and listened to how they did their parties and how they ran their parties and things of the sort like that. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But what a lot of people, especially a lot of the newer bikers, and I'm not just, his name's just young bikers, because a lot of midlife crisis bikers that done jumped in this shit because the kids done got grown and they ain't got nothing else to do now, so they go buy a motorcycle and then they think they're a biker. Okay, but here's the thing. Although being a biker and being in a bike club, we've always had some of the best fucking parties.
True.
The bike scene, the bike club is not a party scene. There's a lot of other things that go into being a biker that people are missing, that people are excluding, that people are never experiencing because they only come for the parties. There's clubs that has started up and they did nothing biker other than purchase motorcycles. But the first thing they do, soon as they get their rags on their back, is they want to throw a party. Now,
Swing this way a little bit. They can't see you.
now once again, it's not a problem having a party. Don't get me wrong. I love a good party. I love me a good shindig. But if you think for 1 second that this bike scene is just about the party, that's part of the problem. Starting at the beginning, that's part of the problem. You gotta pay attention to the other shit that go along with it. The parties are exactly that. They're the parties. They're the celebration after the work is done. There are that is the give and take for the people who do all of the other stuff. It's the part that we strive for, like when you go to work. You work hard because you want to get a raise, or you work hard because you want to get that bonus at the end of the year, or you work hard just because you don't want to fucking get fired. But nobody's working hard anymore. Nobody's working hard at being a biker. Everybody's working hard to get a party. Let's go to a party. Let's throw a party. We're going to go here for a party. We're going to go there for a party. But if it wasn't because of party, half of these motherfuckers wouldn't get on their bike and ride nowhere. If it wasn't for a party, half of these people that's hollering about, I cross state lines, you only cross state lines because you're going to a party and it happened to be in the other state. You don't get on your bike and ride to Chicago just to go to Chicago. You don't ride to Columbus or Dayton or Kentucky or PA or New York or none of that. No, I'm talking about a lot of these newer bikers, the same ones that's complaining about this ain't what it used to be. You don't ride your bike to these other places to go strictly to. How many times have you rode your bike to some other state or even some other city to go to a party and you never talk to nobody there except for the motherfuckers in your club? What did you go for? You went for the party. You missed the whole point. Now that PRO convention is, although I have my own personal thoughts about the whole PRO position and this, that, and the third, the PRO convention is turning into something that actually could be good for the biker world as a whole. Because it's not just a bunch of people who call themselves PROs getting together and trying to figure out the best way to be PROs. They're actually giving out good information. They're actually giving out relevant information, which could be a good thing. So whether or not I agree with the position in itself, the convention is actually turning into something that could be beneficial to the bike scene. But the point is, if all you do is ride your bike to go to a party and you never talk to someone, you never sit down with some of these dudes. You don't even sit down with the dudes from the host club. You don't even grab somebody from the host club and just chop it up with them and be like, okay, well, so what y'all think about this? Or what do y'all do about this? Or how do y'all handle this? What the fuck? I ain't got the candy.
Hey, Magic.
Shit.
Hey, Magic. I had a question.
Shoot.
Party last year. What's the best party you went to last year?
Shit, I don't even remember what I did last year.
That's fucked up.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
What's the best party you went to last year? In 2019. It don't make a difference where it was.
Goldie got him.
Right. Go to ate them up.
It was only 6 in there.
In-state, of course, I'm gonna stay Lady Trendsetters.
Our party wasn't jumping like our party was.
You know what? But you know what?
Oh shit!
It really was.
Out of state, I would say I went to a party in Danville, Virginia.
How was that?
It was cool. It was cool. It was
That's
cool.
cool. We were in
It was a nice ride too. It was a 12-hour ride for me. It was nice.
How many bags did you have?
One bag.
You had one bag.
2 pair of drawers, 1 pair of
I had a
socks.
backpack. That's all I could do.
Oh
My suitcase
shit!
going in somebody's vehicle.
It was an event that it strictly iron. No cars were allowed.
I mean, somebody went
I
in a
need to
car.
be
Somebody's
there.
always going in a car.
They had trailers pulled up, but the trailers were like closed-in trailers where they had set up kitchens and stuff like that. So when you open it up, you can go into the kitchen. They can sleep in their trailers, but there was nobody brought up really no cars.
That's
Yeah, shit.
a nice bike. That's a
It
nice,
was nice.
party right there.
That is a nice party.
But
I need to
but that's my thing though. You really need to chew on that. You really need to chew on that. How many people that claim they're bikers actually ride their bike out of city, out of state, just to go and I'll use the word network. See, because I had a conversation with somebody. I'm not gonna say who. But I had a conversation with somebody, and our conversation was basically like, I'm just coming to show my rags. I'm coming to support. And I'm like, just showing up with your vest on doesn't really count, to be honest with you. I mean, you hear, but I'm gonna tell you a secret about this bike shit. Don't nobody give a fuck about your rags. I mean that. Nobody cares about your rags. They care about the person wearing them. So you can be one person, you can be 50 people. If you got 50 people that come to an out-of-state party or even an in-state party and they act like total fucking dickheads in the middle of the fucking party, people are gonna remember them, but they're gonna remember them for their bad deeds. And if you got 1 or 2 people that come and these people make the room and they talk to everybody, they talk to the prayers, they talk to the vice prayers, they talk to some of the other members, they talk to some other people that was attending the party at other clubs and actually pick brains and actually share information. Those people, that 1 or 2 people, will end up getting way more respect and possibly way more support on the other end of it than that 50 people who came and just acted like total assholes in the party.
Okay, let me ask you this. You just said all that. You probably one of the most antisocial motherfuckers at this table.
Not facts.
Not facts at all.
Not facts.
I'm not agreeing with that.
Not facts. What you gonna see if you see me is you gonna see me talking to people I don't know. Because that's what I do.
2 words.
That's what I do.
No, Magic has favorite 4 words. He has 4 favorite words. Fuck me.
He walk
Fuck
away and
niggas.
motherfuckers be like, who was that
And
guy?
common sense.
Facts and fuck niggas is at the top of the
Common
list.
Yeah, facts. But look, when
See?
if I'm out of town, especially when I'm out of town, if you see me talking to somebody, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be somebody I don't know. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be somebody that's not from Cleveland. Because to be honest with you, when I go the fuck out of town, the last thing I want to talk to is you motherfuckers. I can talk to y'all when I get back in town. I want to talk to people I don't know. I want to pick brains. I want to share ideas. I want to come up with some new and fresh thought. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that way we won't be blindsided by different thoughts. So that when a club from Tennessee come up here, like Big Baby was saying, we went to Maryland. And they did their party the whole different way. It was like there wasn't no color count. It wasn't none of that. It was like
They signed
everybody
the book.
come in and sign the book, and then somewhere
That's how they do
along
it
the
down
line
south.
they go, "Oh, such and such won," and we like, "Well, what the fuck? Like y'all don't got no type of
That's how they do it down
award
south.
ceremony or nothing." I mean, I bring 150 people to your party.
I wanna be
I want to
recognized.
step down the motherfucking aisle, bro. I want to throw my hands up in there and holler my club out. But the thing about it is ever since we brought that down there. And we didn't force those other clubs to do it. What we did is we made our club do it. Because this is how we throw our parties. And once our club did it a time or two, and the other clubs from that area came to our party, and they saw the differences between the celebration of color count. It's not just about who won. Sometimes somebody could come from California. It might be just 2 people that came from California. I would like to have those 2 people recognized. because they came from California. Rather than just get lost in the crowd and they just got 2 names on the book, and then it's just these 2 names from California showed up. Nobody ever knew about it. Nobody ever did nothing. That's the type of thing that make
knew who
people
they were 'cause they
exactly.
didn't see their face.
That's the type of thing that make people not want to go out of town because they're not gonna get recognized. And even though they
But wait a minute, Redliners Lightweight did that.
I have nothing to do with the red line.
No, listen.
They
it was
had a
like
nice party,
No,
though.
it was a nice
They had a
party,
nice party.
and they did it both. They had the book, then they had lightweight color count. You feel what I'm saying?
They
so
had
they
the
did
book and they had the walk.
right. They had the book and they had the walk. So they did it both ways. But like when we first started chapters down south,
I guess.
when my club first started chapters down south, that's how people was doing parties. They were signing the book. So when we started chapters down there, our people started having color counts.
Facts. That's the same thing we did in Maryland. That's the
Because
point that I was
That's
making.
what we do. But the first time I encountered signing the book, it felt like I was signing a funeral home
Facts.
registration.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
I'm like, what the
Registry.
fuck is this?
It was just weird. It was just so weird to me, and I'm not gonna lie, it was really a shock to me. It was a shock to me, and I was like, wow.
Well, you
The
know,
fuck?
that's just
But
documented.
it was
proof that
different.
you was there.
Right, we get that.
But that's
First,
those-
I was still young at the first time I
There's-
seen it though
there's a
too.
difference.
That's those
People-
cultural differences.
Right.
And not only that, at the core of most people, they are attention whores. They want to be noticed. They want to be recognized for their achievements. I'm not listening.
You
shut
should
the
be.
Fuck up. Don't look at me like that.
You should be recognized for your attention.
But because you feel like, hey, I did this. Somebody should acknowledge the fact that I did this.
Facts.
I rode from California to fucking Buffalo.
Facts.
Me and my boy, our motherfucker said, oh, like, we ain't gonna get no money out this shit. We out of pocket doing this shit, but we came to kick it with y'all because we heard about you. We wanted to come see what you was about.
And
At
those
least-
people should
at
get
least acknowledge
recognized.
the fact that I did that for you.
Facts. And you can't do it signing no book.
But you know what? I mean, but you know what? The catch to that is that's how those bike scenes do it. You feel what I'm saying?
But even those
that's
things
the-
can
and
be
that's the
He
upgraded.
thing.
said that's how we feel.
Even
Right.
those things can be upgraded. That's my point.
Yeah, I mean, but they may feel like it doesn't need to
Maybe
be
they don't
upgraded.
have any feeling until they run into some new information.
But no,
if
no,
you,
no,
if
no,
you
but you know what?
refuse to give them the new information, they have nothing to base their actions
I'm
on.
quite sure they a lot
See,
of them
there
have
you go
seen it by
assuming.
now.
There you go assuming.
Well, I could personally speak for my own chapters. in
Okay,
the
but we're
South.
not talking about your chapter. Your chapter's
mean-
following the example that the rest of y'all
No,
chapters
listen,
do.
hold on.
But when
That's
you
what
go
I'm saying.
to an area and you start your club doing color count where everybody else is signing the books, and then the next time you go back to that area, everybody is doing color count, that's a cultural upgrade.
I mean, some people, but listen.
But if
I'm-
you
I'm
have the
speaking-
attitude like just let them do what they're gonna do,
No,
and
no,
we
no,
gonna do
no,
what
no,
we
no,
gonna
no,
do,
no.
that's when you
I'm
end up with
speaking
that
of-
bullshit.
No. You can't call that shit bullshit because
I'm not saying
at
that.
the end of
I'm
the
gonna
day,
let you
listen.
say
No.
Stagnant, but I'm not gonna.
No,
say
it's not even
bullshit.
stagnant. No.
It is. You're stuck.
Wait,
You're not
wait.
moving forward
No.
or backwards. You're
Wait.
stuck.
That's the
Stagnant.
way that they chose to do it, and there are
They
still
choose to
some
stay
people
stagnant.
who choose to do it like that.
That's their prerogative.
Right, that's their prerogative. So I can't sit here and say because they don't do it the way I do it that they're wrong.
I didn't
Because
say
that's-
that.
No, wait,
I
can't-
never
I'm not,
said
no,
that.
wait, stop. I'm not gonna say that they're stagnated. I'm not gonna say that they need to upgrade. I'm just gonna say the way that we do it. I like the way that we do it,
And they might like it too.
and they like the way that they do it.
They
Now,
might
if
like it
choose
too.
to do it the way that they want to do it or the way that I want to do it, I don't have a problem with that. You feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it does have a few benefits for signing the book. If you think about it,
What benefit?
guess what? Party don't stop. Because for
That's-
us,
yeah,
when we
yeah.
come over here,
After
color
color
count,
count, that
we know
ends
after
the
this,
party.
it's to the next party.
Not necessarily.
True or false? Yeah.
Not necessarily.
True. Come
Not
on, man.
necessarily.
If we ain't open,
But
it ain't no
not
party.
necessarily. Because I done been to some parties. They done did color count. And that shit, Jay, right back
It's
off.
very few and far in between.
That's
man.
because niggas is just there for the
know
party,
what I'm
which
saying?
takes me back to my original
Because-
statement.
because you
Because
know
if you
what?
was sitting there having a conversation with a man, and that conversation was deep, and everybody else is sitting there having a conversation with somebody, and them conversations is deep, then you're gonna want to get back to that conversation. So even if we had to take a pause and do color count, I still want to find that man because we was talking about
You
something.
know why it's time to go, Magic?
Because these niggas ain't got shit to talk about. That's why.
No, brother.
They
It's
got
time.
nothing to talk about.
No, sir. It's time to go because most establishments that those parties are thrown at 2 o'clock, you got to go.
You making excuses, Shaka.
That's a fact,
You
brother.
making excuses, Shaka.
Color count is at what time? 1 o'clock,
o'clock.
correct? How long does color count usually take?
An hour.
Or more, depending on what's going on.
Exactly.
30
But we
minutes
know
to an
at 2
hour.
o'clock what? You got to get up out of that establishment.
Not
One-
necessarily.
One establishment you ain't got to leave at 2 o'clock. Who?
Man.
When the party is yours. We talking about a cabaret. We talking about a party. Y'all don't even throw cabarets in your shit.
We have.
Everybody has one time.
It just be so many motherfuckers that we need something big.
Don't sit up and say like you use your shit. You throw your shit at somebody else's shit.
Yeah, because there be too many motherfuckers.
All right, then. No,
all the people in our house.
Stop fucking arguing just to argue then.
Ain't no argument.
So listen, man. Why you debating? See, that's that homer shit. See what I'm saying? See, that be that bullshit right there. We're doing it again. See what I'm saying?
I am my brother's keeper.
3 homers and a Zulu in this bitch. See, that's how I be around this motherfucker. Rabbit, you got to stay around. You got to come back more often.
We had a good time rapping today.
I mean, but yeah, Rabbit gonna have to come back with us.
Yeah, but
and
my
she
thing
said
is,
she'll willing participant on Tuesdays festivities.
Right, I need more
That's the
estrogen.
part that
'Cause
impressed
I
me
swear,
the most.
any other time I get treated.
you
I
got
get treated
enough
like a dumb
estrogen
blood.
over there.
Yeah, do something about this heat, man.
You got enough estrogen over there.
That's the
It
whole
is
purpose.
hot.
You got on a whole leather
You got a whole
vest.
cow on.
What do you mean? We ain't nobody in here sweating but you.
I'm damn
We
near
like
naked.
our
That
shorts
is
for real.
hot.
Big Baby got her sheer shucker shirt on.
I don't even want to know what that means. But see,
Nothing.
this an old
It's actually a
school trick.
material
Like you
called
used to have a
seersucker.
date
It
over.
looks nothing like this.
You have a
It's
date
saying
over
sheer.
and you turn the heat up, so she started taking that little shit off. Like, it's hot here. Oh my God, let me take this sweater off.
If I take any more off, I'm going to jail.
It's the internet. Hey man, listen. Hey,
No,
quick.
don't listen to him. It
Hey,
ain't gonna-
Gio said
See what I'm
it's 8 hours
saying?
and
When you're
15
not here, I
minutes
get
for
treated
cleaning
like
the
the dumb
damn
big
bill.
boo bond. That's
Hey,
how I
quick.
get treated.
He said
Hey, let
it's
me ask
8
you
hours
this.
and 15
Hey,
minutes for
hey,
cleaning
listen.
the
Hey,
damn
listen.
bill.
Let me ask you.
Where's
Let me
Danville?
ask you this. I'm gonna say
Where's
this.
Danville, Virginia?
Virginia, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I might get in trouble. I really don't give a shit. Y'all
It's
know
a
me.
nice ride, too.
Hey, look.
Oh, I done been to Virginia.
Yeah, we go.
I done rode to Virginia. I done rode to North Carolina. I done rode to South Carolina. I done rode to Atlanta. I done rode to Tennessee.
Virginia, nice ride.
On
I
that
ain't gonna lie, I get
sport
Jordan
bike.
Nice ride.
mountains.
On that sport
huh?
bike, I've made those
When
rides.
you pass them signs and beware of falling debris, like you be looking up.
Go
you
faster.
In the car, you like, what the fuck?
Stop being so.
Go
Pebble
faster.
might knock your whole skull.
Go faster.
You know.
When I had my 12th hours, I was feeling like, oh,
Yeah.
I gotta get to this hotel quick.
Yeah.
See, that's. But you know what though?
See, I'm only good for 12 in the car. I'm good for 8 on the bike. After that, I'm done.
Hey, you know what though?
I'm
Let me
tired.
tell you something. I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. About really, colors are just thread. Patches are just some thread stitched together. It's really nothing.
Facts.
You can't,
Representation.
you can't really do anything with it. It doesn't make a good rag. Yeah, you can't hammer a nail with them. You can't really do much with them.
And they don't stop no damn bullets.
Right. You can't really do much with patches except for put them on a vest or hang them up to look pretty or something like that. So why are we so adamant about them?
Because to
Just
some
say it.
people, that's the only thing that gives them relevance.
But wait. But hold on now.
How do you
But
feel
listen.
about a suede vest?
But wait, hold on. Listen, wait, hold on. Whoa. Ain't nobody went on damn
You
suede
never
vest.
ride if you have a suede vest.
Now listen,
Oh
hold on,
my God,
wait.
it so smells so bad. It takes
Hey, hold
so
on,
long
listen,
to get
wait.
And gonna
Wait.
shrink up like a oh man, it's gonna be all moldy and shit.
Dog.
Now hold on. So let me say, why is the thread so important?
Because the thread is a representation.
Exactly.
The same reason why those dollars in your pocket, this means so much to you. But at the end of the day, that ain't money.
But listen this. Now
It's
listen.
just, it ain't even paper.
But
It's
listen.
cotton.
But
Same
listen.
thing
But
your
wait a
shirt made
minute.
out of.
Listen to this though.
Toilet paper.
At the end of the day, that little stitching, that thread holds together people with a commonality of one direction.
That was almost poetic. I was
See-
about to start snapping behind that.
Anyway, brother.
See, that's
See, let me tell you
You
something.
killing me with this fucking heat.
Look,
Turn it down. It's right,
Right.
there. Go turn it down.
see,
I
look,
can't
man.
breathe to
I
get up
can't
and
get.
do
I'm
it.
barricaded.
That thread brings that commonality of people together. But you gotta remember, man, if you stay in this shit long enough, when you first come here, yeah, you got outside friends. But when you look up, all your friends gonna be
85.
bikers.
It's gonna get cold quick.
All your friends will be bikers if you look up.
Nothing.
You feel what I'm saying? Because that's what actually happens. Because everything in your life becomes about the bike life. Your
Right.
job, everything is wrapped around your club life. You go to work just so you can bike. Guess what? Your kids' recitals, they sports games, all that. You just looking at the calendar to myself. How can I slide? Look, I went to the last 2 games. Because it's like that because you love it so much. I'm a firm believer that this stuff is like this. When you join a club, either the shit click for you one day or it don't.
Or it don't.
See, listen, pay attention. Either one day this shit click for you or it don't. So you can tell the people that it click for. You know them, when you meet them, yo, it click for them. And you can tell the people who it don't click for. And some of the people who it hasn't clicked for been around 10, 15, 20 years.
Because they just here for the party.
Exactly. So at the same time, again, when you meet individuals that is clicked for, you can immediately tell. And I'm a firm believer in that. You feel what I'm saying? So in a sense, you gotta fake it till you make it.
We need to order like 5.
So either it click for you or it don't. And if it don't click for you, you just gonna be the roundabout. You gonna run. I tell you who it don't click for: club jumpers. That's an example of somebody who hasn't clicked for it. Club jumpers.
Not necessarily.
Yes,
not necessarily.
It hasn't clicked for them because
they ain't really met the right one.
No. It ain't clicked for them because you know what? Like we talk about, just because you switch club doesn't
Don't
make you a club jumper. Not at all.
Okay, so now we're being specific. Okay, I'm with you.
I always say that because we have to specify that.
Oh, okay.
We have to clarify that.
My words.
Right. We have to clarify that. Just because you switch clubs does not make you a club jumper. But when you get to switching too many clubs at your third club, you going some, then you gotta be gonna have to wear that club jumper tag. The thing about it is that's why I say it hasn't clicked for club jumpers, Magic. Because after that first club, that second club, when you making that decision, you gotta know exactly what you're getting into. You should be able to know exactly what you're looking for when you get to that next club.
If you a club jumper, call us at 216-772-3393.
I just asked them a question.
Let's talk
like,
about
I wonder if because there are people out there that quite a few people that watch us, and they hear us talking about them. Like, yeah, we talking about you, and you know we talking about you. Like, how do you feel when we talk about you?
I don't know the reason why.
I mean, I just want to know.
I just answered that question. Because some people are here.
Called in, they probably ain't gonna do nothing but try to justify their
That's cool. That's cool. My sword is very, very long.
But you know what? I might understand your point. If you have a valid point, I might get it.
But I want to go back to the same thing that I said. Red Rabbit say she wonder why they do that. And back to the original statement.
Come a point in your hopping career that you decide that maybe this ain't for me.
Well, that goes back to my point that I was making. See, you got a lot of people. See, it used to be a time when we would have parties. It used to be a time when we would have parties. Like we would throw our club personally. We would throw a cabaret, and our crowd would be maybe 40% bikers and 60% civilian. That's because those people came to party. What happened somewhere along the way is a vast majority of that 60% all said the same thing. Oh, that shit look fun. I think I want to join the motorcycle club. And guess what? They let them fucking join. So now you got 60% of the motherfuckers that's in bike clubs is just there. So when they go to a party, they won't be bareback. So, because they think they got to have rags on in order to be recognized. Because they think they got to have rags on in order to be able to try and knock something off. Because they think they got to have rags on in order to be able to get some respect. Or they think they got to have rags on so when they come to the party and they do some goofy shit or they do some drunk shit, they won't get the hell beat out of them because they got on somebody's rags, so now they feel protected. Those people are not here for what we're here for. But the problem is at one point people were so stuck on numbers that they was letting everybody in their club. They let the dog in. They got the dog running around with rags on. They got everybody running around with rags on. They got their kids running around with rags on. They got their friends running around with rags on. Everybody got rags. Like the Oprah Winfrey Show. You get rags. Everybody get rags. And what happened is now you got all of these people that done joined these clubs that really, as Shaka put it, it didn't click for. But nobody is willing to make the hard decision and say, hey, this dude or this chick don't work. We need to get rid of them. You gotta be able to clean your fucking closet. You can't keep all your old, bad, worn shoes and clothes in your closet because you won't have no room. One, to put anything new. to find anything relevant. So now you got all of these clubs that's full of nobodies, and I keep saying that word. Now, if that offends you, then oh well. But you got a lot of clubs that's just full
We
of
offend a lot of people on
nobodies.
this show.
I don't care.
Hey, you know what
We
though?
offend a
Wait,
lot
I'm not
of
done. I'm not done. You got a lot of clubs that's full of
How do
nobodies.
you know if you're a nobody?
You don't. That's the problem.
Yes, you
Oh,
do.
you know if
No,
you're
it's a
nobody.
lot of people that think they
fucking
somebody
nobody.
and
They
they
want to
fucking
be
know.
somebody,
There's a
but
lot
they
of people
know
that
they're
it's a
nobody.
lot of people that walk around with their chest poked out, talking, acting, walking like they somebody and you ain't shit. You hear what I'm saying?
Man.
But you got a bunch of
You know
clubs.
what?
You got a bunch of clubs that's full of nobodies. You got a bunch of clubs that's full of, when I say nobodies, you got people in your club that don't care about the bike scene, that don't want to go to somebody's bike night, that don't want to go to somebody's park event, that don't want to go to somebody's somebody throw a fundraiser or something because somebody in their club passed away or somebody or something. They don't want to go to shit like that. The only thing they want to do is show up at the cabaret and go, hey, look at me.
I have to agree with you on that.
That's
I
all.
mean, you know what? And you know what? That's true. But you know what? Hey, first off, man, shout out to the Cleveland clubs, man. Cause lately, man, motherfuckers been. I mean, I don't know if y'all noticed, but motherfuckers been doing a, you know what I'm saying, a better job at not letting a bunch of motherfuckers in their clubs without the proper procedures. So shout out to the Cleveland clubs who have been making those changes and stepping up and doing this shit how it's supposed to be done, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. I want y'all to know I've been watching and I noticed
Facts.
that, man. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all because that helped make our scene better. You feel what I'm saying? Get this shit back down to the nuts and bolts, trim the motherfucking fat.
And we can get back to some good old
Right.
biker fun.
Cause I've been noticing a lot of people been trimming the fat in their club.
Facts, big
You know what I'm
facts. I
saying?
noticed that too,
And
bro.
I ain't talking about. I'm gonna be real. I seen motherfuckers that tomorrow they just cut people out their club. I'm just saying they done cut some right motherfuckers out their club. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know some shit like, yeah, you should have got rid of that ass.
Facts.
Long time
Yeah,
ago.
hell
You
yeah.
know what
You
I'm
should have
saying?
been got rid of that motherfucker.
Yeah, so I noticed that y'all trimming the fats, man. So
Shit, you
shout out to my
2,000
Cleveland
grams
clubs,
of
man.
sugar.
I know. That's
Right.
why I'm sleepy.
So shout out to my Cleveland clubs, man,
How
because
many-
y'all
how
definitely
many
doing your
grams?
thing.
At least 2,000. She done sat here and just like the Cookie Monster in the bar.
Right. I
Oh,
just like lost
That's-
16
you
pounds and
pass
I
out
sat here and
immediately,
ate
devil.
all
You
we
this
just got them
food.
all back in an hour.
Right.
Hey, Rabbit.
Dude.
What's up, Sean?
Ladies Trendsetter Party is coming up.
Yes.
The long
Yeah, let's do
awaited
announcements because we got to get out of here.
anticipation, yes.
Yeah.
Anticipation. We have been waiting. What date is that?
March 20th through the 21st.
Will there be
Stop
cheese?
tapping on the table.
Huh?
Will there be cheese?
Yeah, you want some cheese? I'll have some cheese for
How
you,
many
Sean.
cheese? There'll be cheese.
What kind of cheese you want?
Just give him a platter.
Yes.
A platter of cheese?
Yes. The
Okay,
good
I'll talk
shit.
to my business manager.
The good shit.
She gonna work that out.
Yeah, she gonna work that out.
She not gonna quit this shit.
No, she ain't gonna quit.
I ain't getting no fucking
We'll bring
cheese.
that
You
up
know
for
what? They have a really
consideration.
good.
She ain't gonna quit, nah.
I think about you every time I go. They had this really nice cheese platter out of Sam's Club.
All right, get it from me.
With the, I eat it too.
I also want to let everybody know that
Yeah.
I've been working with Akron and Lorraine, so I have Akron.
Put it to your mouth now. Come on now.
All right. I want everybody to know that I've been working with Akron and Lorraine, so I do have their calendar dates, so I combine one calendar. So every week you'll be getting information for Akron and Lorraine along with Cleveland to come out to support.
Okay, that's what it do. That's what it do. That's what it do. Hey, let's talk about us hosting y'all. The Zulus hosting the Lady Trendsetters. The Zulus are hosting one club a month.
Didn't y'all do us already?
No,
No, they just started.
no, we
y'all
just
didn't
thought we
do
haven't done anybody.
Why you didn't do me yet?
No.
Now, the Zulus are hosting one club a month, meaning that Cleveland clubs,
Nobody be with me on my
myself,
bullshit.
you know what I'm saying, I'll be calling you, you know what I'm saying, letting you know that you've been chosen for us to host y'all. And you can pick the date. It's going to be on our club night because we don't want to infringe on anybody else's night.
Offend
You
them
can
on anybody
choose.
else's night.
We won't want to offend anybody by greeting on their night.
Oh, offended. Okay.
You can choose to have your, you can choose to have your private party, or you can choose to let everybody else come. It's up to you as your club. But we are hosting the Lady Trendsetters first, February 28th.
Correct.
So are you guys having it private, or you are hosting everybody else? You letting everybody else come?
It'd be nice to have all the rest of the MCs to come join in with us.
Okay.
What it is.
That's what we supposed
See
to
how
do.
gracious that is.
Yeah.
See how gracious that is.
Man, February.
What's gonna be one asshole be like, no, fuck it, man. It's just
So February 28th, man, mark your calendars. Cleveland, Akron, Lorraine, Canton. You feel what I'm saying? Columbus. Yo, you already know what it do, man. Mark your calendars. February 28th, we are hosting Zulu's Cleveland chapter. We'll be hosting the Lady Trendsetters Cleveland chapter. Will your other Lady Trendsetters be coming?
No, they won't be coming down that weekend.
We'll be hosting the Lady
Okay,
Trendsetters
y'all got any last words?
at our
You
clubhouse.
got any more announcements, big baby?
absolutely not.
No, there's nothing
You got
going on
any
this
last
weekend.
Nothing going on this
Your
weekend.
turn. You go first. Last words.
Except my birthday Saturday.
This
What are you
Saturday
doing?
coming up.
You still
Yes.
do birthday?
What are you doing?
I celebrate every breath, every morning I get on.
So
this
what are you
earth.
doing for your birthday?
I'm not doing
Whatever you
anything.
want to say. This red,
Are you
getting a surprise party?
Me, whatever you want to say.
No. What surprise party?
Whatever last thoughts you
such
get.
thing.
Let her do her last thoughts, y'all. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
mean, I'm not doing anything.
Okay, look.
My last thoughts are prayers to Kobe, his family, and everyone on the plane, and everybody that's riding in good weather, safe in the mines, and those in those cages. Watch out for our bikers.
Hey, yeah, man, it's been a fucked up winter. We ain't really getting no snow, so you know, y'all can start getting them bikes ready if you need some help. You know what I'm saying? You can give me a call, hit me on my Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, I know somebody.
We're gonna
I
get you
told
together.
them I had a mechanic for them today too. I gotta give you his number.
Oh shit, I gotta give you some money, matter of fact.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I need light blinkers.
Gotcha.
Oh yes, my birthday is Saturday. I will be just hanging out at the clubhouse. I'm not really doing anything. It's not like a milestone marker year. It's like it's 52. It's like,
That's a milestone.
DJ
Yeah.
Johnny C's birthday is tomorrow.
I know.
After
His mo-
50,
that's my
every
cousin's
birthday is a
husband. His birthday is
milestone.
tomorrow. He's gonna be at About Last Night. I'll probably start up there with them too.
Thursday.
The anniversary I think is Friday. His
Thursday,
birthday
Johnny
is-
C will be having his birthday party at
Yeah,
the Kansas
party's
Square
at the
Party
Kansas
Center.
Square.
It will
I'm
be hip
definitely
hop and
gonna be
reggae music, so make sure
and I'll
Thursday y'all
probably
come
be
fuck
there
with him.
too.
It's gonna be really loud. So
But
bring
as
some
always, y'all
plugs.
know my
you
y'all know
can't
my
take
cross the bear and my hill to die on is save the tatas, ladies, fellas, fill your girls up. Make sure ain't no lumps and bumps. They ain't there. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Oh, you can squeeze them
Yeah.
together and get busy.
Hey, yes. Check them babies. Make sure you good.
Did
'cause
you have the information for me
Where
rapping on the
the big
babies?
girls at?
The information for the babies?
Oh yeah, I ain't fine.
She said it's real far up her text.
It's
She
what?
She was rolling through it. She said it's real
All right,
far.
we'll get it. We'll handle it.
We'll get it posted up.
Hey man, it's your boy Shaka, aka the Jaguar, man. We like to thank everybody for listening, man, and fucking with us. We really appreciate the love. Make sure you watch us on YouTube, man, and hit the share button on YouTube. You feel what I'm saying? We trying to get our like game up and our YouTube shares up so
Like,
we can
subscribe.
go national. Like, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Catch us on YouTube. I personally be making some more videos on my own Facebook page and switching them over to YouTube page so y'all can get a little more with me.
But you told me not to do that.
No, I never told you that.
Talk about that. Two projects. Two projects we're working on.
The water.
The water and your mom spot.
All right. The other spot we're gonna get that one together. First, we
Okay.
want to see that one. The water. We're still doing the water. Yeah, we definitely still gonna do the water thing, man. So the weather's about to break shortly, about another 30 days. So clubs, a pallet of water costs you about $138, $34. So we still gonna do the water thing. We gonna get that water up to Flint, man. We still on that. We not letting that go. So the weather about to break. As soon as it break, we gonna break on the road and make that happen. So clubs, $134. That's all it takes. And you can send a pallet of water. It's about 68 cases on a pallet.
Pizzalet.
So you know that's what we doing. So I'm gonna see all y'all out there. I'm about to head down to the Owens for a minute. I'm gonna slide down there and chill. Then I gotta be working in the morning. So you know how I do. Peace.
You already know what I'm gonna say. Have fun, do what you do, turn up. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.
Peace.
Radio.